It's boy Zap King the Giant Robots, and this is your tactical forecast for May 2024. If you're new here, I thank you for watching. This is the monthly update video, where you can come to get foresight on what adventures we will behold in this month. And holy crap, I messed up. I put a million irons in the fire, and somehow successful weapons have come through. I have by choice and chance and releases and ambition double booked every day this month, and yet I do not feel overwhelmed. So, previously, a few days ago, we wrapped up The Dark Prison. You can catch my final episodes during the credits. I always give my thoughts on video games, if I have them. And effectively, it boils down to, it was neat, but I did not have fun in the end. I continue to not understand why the final battle of a Super Robot Wars game is designed to be a slog. It did not feel challenging, it did not feel exciting, I did not feel that I overcame a difficult foe. I felt like I had to drag a heavy bag of rocks through water, and that was the only way I was going to get forward and do anything. That was just such a bad feeling for the final fight. And then the story was good, events were cool, the robots were cool, but forcing me to fight a final boss that can and will attack multiple enemies with a map weapon multiple times per turn. And my conditions are, you cannot lose any one of your 10 robots. It just felt bad. It just felt bad. Dark Prison was not a bad game, but it ended with a wet and gross fart. Moving forward, starting yesterday, was me and the boys, the set of numbers, myself, Bring, and Steve of Retro Theater, played our second Archipelago randomizer. We did, by some miracle, do this all in one sitting in the early weeks of March, maybe late February. I genuinely do not recall exactly when, but this was our first available coordinated spot where we could start uploading our videos. I played Donkey Kong Country 3, Steve of Retro Theater played Link's Awakening DX, and Bring Stabity played Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. And we streamed it. It was live for a while. The archives are probably long gone by now. But we did it in one sitting, in one night. One and done. Those episodes will be coming out for the next 7 days of May, ending on May 7th, which will also begin our next Super Robot War. Super Robot Wars Z3 Rengoku-hen, or the Continuous Prison, or shortly known as Z3R, that will drop every Monday through Thursday at noon Central Standard Time. Because I can't get myself off of saying that, I will say it as part of the tradition. Tactics Ogre Reborn has shifted from the old Monday through Thursday slot, now on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays at noon Central Standard Time. In my procrastination of finishing Dark Prison, chose to marathon and play and just hammer through a whole bunch of Tactics Ogre. And I have recorded every episode I need for this month, ending with the long, incredibly long standing desire to recruit Deneb. It is a process that takes a bit of time and effort for me as the person who knows like what it is I need to do. It is a full game effort to get some of those things knocked out. I appreciate that Reborn made the requirements more easy and then changed them to be a little more unique as opposed to tedious. I did never recruit Deneb back when I played it on my own on PSP, but finally, the dream, the goal, the ambition has been achieved. On April 23rd, Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes dropped, and while I did get to play that a few days before the release date, I kind of went easy on it, like, I'll put my feet in the water and wait for that day one patch that will inevitably improve load times. And it did a bit, and surely there will be more improvements to come, technical shenanigans. I did unfortunately learn that there is a lot of discourse in regards to choices made for the translation. Not as a defense for the choices made, but one, it could be worse. Two, shut up. I don't want to get into it, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I am perfectly content with those decisions made because guess what? I don't make video games. I don't translate video games very well. So, just like, enjoy a game. There's more to a video game than just translations. But, that tirade aside, Ayuden Chronicle will come out per given schedule of every odd numbered day of the month at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. There is one off exception for May 7th, where it is both the end of the Archipelago, Mystic Kong DX, and the beginning of Robot Wars Z3R. We're just going to miss that one day, but every odd numbered day at 3 p.m. Ayuden Chronicles. Ayuden Chronicle, no S. Accent on the dough. Yes, that technically "de" would be an accent on the dough. Made a terrible joke, and if you're old enough to understand that joke, please leave a comment below if you understood that joke. Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes every odd number day at 3 p.m. Words are sometimes difficult and get stuck leaving my mouth. Myself and Steve of Retro Theater continue to multi-farm. It has just been unfortunate that while we have made concessions and plans and attempts to get either Flightless Bird or Bring Savity to also join us, the times that both myself and Steve are available to farm are not times that the other two are available. Those episodes, which I've recorded a whole lot of them, boy, I tell you what, will drop every even numbered day at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Except The Revenge of Final Fantasy on the Wonder Swan. I, as one of the many irons in the fire, have finished recording that, so many irons, many swords were made. Lots of swords, including katanas and defenders and Excaliburs. The episodes of my revenge on Final Fantasy on the Wonder Swan will drop every even-numbered day, divisible by 4. or a multiple of 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and wraps up on the 28th. It just so happened to work out that the last episode of Final Fantasy drops on the last multiple of 4 of this month. Now, all this planning and scheduling, I will upload a picture of my dry erase calendar onto community tab if you want to get a visual representation of how I keep track of these things. I wasn't particularly trying to be organized and mathematical, but I didn't want to drop any series, and I wanted to continue on games that... What am I trying to... I didn't articulate that well. I didn't want to drop anything I had already started, and I wanted to include Ayuden Chronicle so that I at least stay relevant with the times, and I take advantage of the algorithm and the feed and the attention of people looking up brand new game and see how everyone is approaching the game differently. I wanted frequency in Ayuden, and I wanted to keep my regular schedule of the games that have been planned for months, have been going for months, so on and so forth. So this weird, even odd math day of uploads just worked. That's how I made it work. And y'all know I stammer. I'm so sorry. You don't come here for me to listen to me stammer and ramble. I mean, you do, but you don't. But you do. I just don't know how to articulate my thoughts regarding this. I don't have bad thoughts. It just happened that I had so many games that I was playing and want to play and did not want to stop playing that every day this month gets 2 uploads. And for so long as Steve and I continue to multi-farm, and I'm still playing Tactics Ogre and Ayuden Chronicle, that will continue to persist in the foreseeable future. I figure, at least when it comes to Stardew, Steve and I will stop when we catch Evaluation from Grandpa, which I believe happens at the end of year 2. We should have most things done, and we get to go off and explore the weird and wonderful new content that is or isn't. The book that I continue to reference is from version 1.4, I believe, and I think there is production going on for 1.6. Not that I'm going to pick up another book, but I think that book exists, or will exist. But because I've been on such like a farming binge, I did pick up a copy of Harvest Moon on the Game Boy Advance. Wow, that game is shockingly expensive if you want anything more than just the cartridge. But I can't very well take Stardew Valley on my Switch to work. That is too much of a large console for me to whip out, play a few minutes of before getting back to work. And that's really all I would have time to do, is like mash out half a day's worth of work. And I know I could stop, I could just spend it, but the Switch is too big. I have a Game Boy Micro and it's very tiny and discreet, and I can just stuff that in my pocket, and the dangling lanyard looks like, you know, could be my work keys. Maybe I put a new keychain on there. You don't know. And in other video games that I've been playing news, Bird and I continue to record in the background Valkyrie Profile Covenant of the Plume. I do not know how I will upload this yet, but it would appear that my ambition of having perhaps gotten the initial playthroughs completed in April did not happen. It's okay. We continue to grind through, and from what I've heard Bird say at some point, is uploading Valkyrie Profile will not interfere or take away from his uploads. So whatever he's working on, be it Layton or Lunar or Legend of Dragoon or Final Fantasy Tactics, whatever it is he's working on, it will not get in the way of those games. It will be a third daily upload. So mayhaps for me that will be a third daily upload. Or I will look at the schedule and see what can and can't be rearranged. Maybe Ayuden will be shifted around. Multi-farm will be put on hold. Who knows? But this is why I make these videos, so I can get these thoughts out of my head, and maybe you, the listener, can, give me some feedback. Tell me my idea is stupid, or telling me you have too many irons in the fire, slow down, or no, keep it up. I hope you do 2 uploads every day. I don't think I could keep that up. I think I just got lucky with the way that I'm playing the shorter, more simple Super Robot Wars games. But we shall see. I'm gonna run it back one time, as we do, to remind you here at the end of the video what's going on. So, for the first 7 days, for the 1st to the 7th, at noon, we have Mystic Kong DX, Archipelago with the other boys, from the 1st to the 7th, noon, Central Standard Time. Starting on May 7th, every Monday through Thursday at noon, Super Robot Wars Z3, the Continuous Prison. It is the in-between chapter between parts 1 and 2, that focuses on the OGs from Z1 and Z2. This will actually be a new game plus scenario because my old file is still there and I'm going to use it to make life easier. Tactics Ogre Reborn every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the weekends at noon Central Standard Time. Will continue until at least the law ending is reached. Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes will be every odd numbered day at 3 p.m. Stardew Valley with Friends will be every even numbered day at 3 p.m. And Final Fantasy on the WonderSwan Color will be every even numbered day, a multiple of 4, at 3 p.m. until its conclusion. My channel continues a slow and steady growth into the future, and only you, the viewer, can help those numbers go up. I'm doing my part by continuing to give you content, so much so that I'm giving you 2 contents per day, every day this month, until I calm down, or farming ends, or Ayuden ends, the foreseeable future. What can you do? You can like the videos. Perhaps leave a jovial little comment. Share the videos with like-minded communities and or individuals, especially those people that enjoy giant robots. And, of course, if you share that, or if you're just viewing casually, mayhap hit a subscribe button. Continue to help the number go up. I would like to make this a job, but I cannot do that alone. I can produce as much content as I want every single day, but it is only with you, the viewer, and increasing both view counts and likes and subscribing numbers can I stop going to regular, boring, real-life job and, you know, become a more integral and leading member of this community. And perhaps even one day, I will open up my Discord server to the public. It is a small community that I use to communicate with my associates. I wouldn't mind having more people in there, but as it is, I don't have any like additional content or places for y'all to participate and contribute to that aren't equally done with going to the comments section and being like, hey, you know, you forgot this, or hey, that was an interesting part. And as I remember here at the last bit, I've continued, I don't even think I mentioned this last month, I've been dabbling in shorts. Now, pardon me for not knowing what makes good short content, but I'll do it, and I'm going to keep trying to do it. So I will at least continue to attempt to make one short every Tuesday at 12:15 p.m. You can see that pop up. And I will try my best to make it so that it is relevant to a video that week. But every now and again, I will probably dig into the old Super Robot Wars archives and pull out a pop-off or two. Because, you know, it's something, and maybe some of y'all are new here and didn't know I played Alpha 3, or didn't know that that thing was that funny that happened way back when I played Neo on the Wii. Ooh, that's good short content right there. But I digress. Continue to do what you do. Like, comment, tell your friends about me, keep watching, and, you know, let it be known that, hey, you were here on the ground floor before I got famous. And yes, dang it, one more last thing. If y'all are actually into giant robots, I need to heavily recommend that since you can't give me any money unless you go to my Twitch, twitch.tv/ace_zappa, and subscribe to that channel, mayhaps give some finances to Giant Robot FM. They are a mecha-centric podcast. I've been on that podcast, and I will be on their podcast again in the future. But more importantly, they have begun producing a quarterly fanzine. Their first issues have gone out. I have mine in hand, just not in my hand. They've done the Big O. And it is a nice, like, 12-page booklet. Has all sorts of, you know, data in there. You know, snippets from interviews. Not just from, like, the people who created the show, but people who got to work on the DVD production, people who were working in the American anime industry at the time of those things being released or put on DVD or being signed, and it's like, yo. And their next project will be Macross Plus, I believe, coming in July. So if you want to get a digital, or fuck that, a physical, on paper, in your hand, a physical copy of that fanzine, a physical production of Giant Robot Fandom, check out Giant Robot FM on Patreon. They have free podcasting. They have exclusive podcasting for like $3 a month. Get in there. Check me out. Check them out. But until next time.
All combat is over. Now that you've tasted victory, I'm sure you'll be back.